Hello and welcome. It is Suzanne Worthley, and I am here with an energy report for February 2021. If you are not aware of any of my work, I do energy healing and energy practitioner work on a full-time basis, but I also do a lot online in terms of having an online community called Vibe Tribe. And if you're interested in anything more about that, you can check out my website at sworthley.com. So that's SWORTHLEY.com. And Vibe Tribe is an awesome opportunity for anybody out there that is looking for maybe more materials on what's happening with this ascension process. It is a monthly package that comes to you via email. And it includes not only just an energy report, but it gives you all kinds of information in a themed basis every single month, including things like, what is happening for our meat and bone bodies, how that we can reverse the energies that we're up against right now. The theme will give us meditations and training videos. In addition, we have a online webcast live every single month, and we have forums where we talk with one another. So Vibe Tribe is an awesome actual opportunity to get really current information. So again, if this interests you, go ahead to my website and check it out. So what I do when I pick the actual information to put into the Vibe Tribe materials, I randomly pull a tarot card each month that will give me an umbrella theme of sorts that I work with in terms of the information that I put out for my community. What this particular video is a very small portion of that I take for the general public use so that I can share a little bit what I feel is happening in terms of energy. So I take that card theme, but I also look at what is happening, what's happening in our astrological cycles, what's happening in our earth itself, but mostly what is happening in my client base. And this is how I sort of package this information for what you're getting today. So if you want more, go ahead and check out Vibe Tribe. But for this month, what I picked for that card and the umbrella theme was very interesting because I picked the 7 of Spheres and or Pentacles, depending on what kind of a deck you use. So this is a traditional card. This is very much about patience. It's about slow growth. This is about hard work and perseverance. This is about humility and modesty. This is about a long-term view with commitments, investments, etc. And I think this is a really interesting card to pull for this particular month of February, just when we started this crazy new year of 2021 and finally got out of 2020. And in addition, by the way, what I do as a practitioner is I do an overall annual poll additionally, and I look at what is happening on a quarterly and then monthly basis. And this quarter also has a lot of interesting energy that is kind of in some ways supporting the 7 of Spheres, but also maybe diametrically opposed. So interestingly enough, in the big read that I got, we have a lot of words like joy and freedom. But at the same time, we have very interesting words like the quake, meaning things are going to disrupt and disassemble, lots of self-criticism, lots of falling apart. So I believe that that is what's going to happen, not only for this first quarter, but probably into the first year. But February specifically for me is very much about there's like a rumbling underneath. There's like something that maybe is going on underneath that we're not quite aware of, that there's things going on behind the scenes that maybe are still dismantling and or changing that aren't quite apparent to us right now. And so when we take that along with these 7 of Spheres, I think it's a very interesting combination for many of us that you may be one and may not be one that was disappointed in the last month or so in terms of feeling like we were maybe going to have things change quicker, or something was going to come in and save the day, or something was going to be the hero. Now, in my Vibe information, we talk extensively on our live webcasts about what we call the Savior Program or the Hero Program. And a lot of people in many different ways felt like this change of administration was maybe going to help, or the vaccine is going to save the day, or certain people being in or out are going to make all of the difference, and so on and so forth. Now, take what resonates and toss the rest in anything that I'm saying, but I know a lot of people were feeling like, something still needs to come out. Something isn't quite right. Something isn't really being apparent or disclosed to us. And I believe the combination of these two cards or these two messages is very important. This card pull of, we've got to have long-term investment in some things, in addition to things are still rumbling, things are still changing. Now, if this for you resonates as something is going on behind the scenes that is still going to come forward as truth, that's great. But it quite might also mean that there's rumblings deep within yourself that is coming forward, that there are still things and long-term effects of your inner work are going to be rumbling things up for the month of February, and that it is important for us, if we choose, to have long-term hard work investment on ourselves as individuals as well. So this is not necessarily an easy thing to do, because we do not necessarily like to have to wait. Our humanity, our species, the way that we're trained and we react to things is we want quick fixes. We want someone to save us in a lot of instances. We feel like it's good when someone comes in and makes it all okay and safe for us. And in actuality, this kind of a release of energy or giving our power away is not always the greatest thing for ourselves as individuals. We do not like maturation. We do not like waiting and investing in long-term experiences, because a lot of us don't like that frustrated feeling of not knowing. It feels out of control. But this is a great card to learn from in terms of understanding that sometimes we get to find that strength in character that this Seven of Pentacles or Spheres says for us. If we understand our long-term unpleasant experiences or things that we don't exactly like, or this feeling of not knowing, this pause thing, this we're ticked off because I don't really know what's real and what's not real. All of these unknowns or frustrated feelings or loss of control feelings are things that we can, if we choose to, learn from this card in the way of this is actually what makes an inner strength. Patience is key in this particular card. The long-term view and the long-term wait out is what we reap the awards from in some instances. And this is important for us to understand during this time of still evolving and coming forward and trying to decide what makes us safe. We make us safe. We choose, if we choose, when we choose, and how we choose to feel safe. And this is key for us in terms of understanding long-term personal work and long-term personal journeys are the way to get there. We can step back and look at our past experiences. We can step out of our distorted egos. We can work on behalf of the bigger picture and long-term positive outcomes that may be possible for the greater good of not only ourselves, but for others. And this is when we begin to embrace compassion and empathy and ultimately gain oneness. So when we take the combination of these two messages, this patience is key kind of a thing through the Spheres card. And when we take the rumbling opportunity of the Quake card, this is two, like I said, diametrically opposed things that actually can offer us some semblance of balance. So this is just kind of where I'm going this month. It's sort of like rocking along, kind of rumbling underneath, but being really patient, still doing that long-term work, looking what is the benefit for myself and all in the future, as well as being really, really present right now. So take what resonates, toss the rest, and until we meet again, cosmic hugs.